Have you ever stopped to think what really changes in your life after you manage to save your first $10,000? That amount, which many people treat as small or even irrelevant, can be the turning point between barely getting by every month and actually starting to grow your wealth strategically. Today, you're going to understand why this money isn't just savings. It's a powerful tool for freedom, acceleration, and smart choices. Whether it's investing in ETFs, building an emergency fund, launching a digital business, or studying to increase your income, those first $10,000 are your launchpad to escape survival mode and start playing the wealth-building game. Most people see money as something static. You save a bit, spend it all on something short-term, and go right back to zero. This mindset is fueled by the belief that if it's not a huge amount, it's not worth saving. But that's a mental trap. The truth is, money is only useless when you don't know what to do with it. Your first $10,000 are like the foundation of a house. Maybe they don't look like much at first, but without them, nothing stands. The key is to stop seeing money as a reward and start viewing it as a lever. Think about it. What do $10,000 really represent? For someone earning $2,000 a month, that's 5 months of net income. If that person manages to save $500 a month, which already requires discipline, it would take them 20 months to reach that goal. So no, it's not easy, but it is achievable. And that's exactly why this number has so much power. It's not the amount itself, it's what it allows. Breathing room, more autonomy in your decisions, and most importantly, breaking the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. $10,000 is your first financial shield, and that's what changes everything. Before you think about multiplying your money, you need to protect it. That's why the first strategic step is building an emergency fund. The basic recommendation is to save between 3 to 6 months of your fixed monthly expenses in an account with immediate liquidity. If your monthly cost of living is about $2,000, your ideal emergency fund would be between $6,000 and $12,000. With the initial $10,000, you've already got most of it covered and still have a cushion left over. This fund should be kept in something conservative, a high-yield savings account, short-term treasury bonds, or fintechs offering high liquidity returns. The goal here isn't growth, it's protection. Having that cushion eliminates the risk of falling into debt during an emergency, putting you ahead of most people. Once you're protected, the next step is to grow your money. One of the most efficient ways to start is with ETFs, exchange-traded funds. With just $1,000 or $2,000, you can already become a shareholder in the biggest companies in the world. For example, the VTI ETF, which tracks the overall US market, has had an average historical return of around 8% per year. If you invest $4,000 into this asset and reinvest the profits, in 10 years, you could have about $8,600 without adding another dollar. But if you keep investing, even in small amounts, compound interest begins to work in your favor. That's the moment money stops being static and becomes a multiplication machine. Now imagine using part of that money, not just to invest in assets, but to invest in yourself. Instead of thinking only about immediate financial return, think about return on skill. If you put $2,000 or $3,000 into a technical certification, like UX design, data analytics, or programming, you could increase your salary by 20%, 30%, or even more. That means your monthly saving power could double. Instead of saving $500 a month, you could start saving $1,000. That drastically shortens the time it takes to hit your next financial milestones. It's the kind of investment that pays dividends in the form of opportunities, promotions, and freedom of choice. And what if instead of just studying or investing, you chose to become an entrepreneur? Today, with $5,000 to $10,000, you can build a complete digital business. You could launch an online store, create a digital product, offer freelance services, or start a lean agency focused on paid traffic, copywriting, or design. With that amount, you can build a professional website, invest in targeted advertising, develop your brand, automate your customer service, And most importantly, test ideas without putting your financial stability at risk. Starting a business. With a safety net means you don't need to chase instant profits, which lets you think more strategically. A well-structured digital business can become a second source of income, and eventually, your main one. When you reach that $10,000 mark, something shifts in the way you make decisions. You stop accepting bad offers. You no longer say yes to just any job out of fear. You finally have room to breathe, think, and plan. Financial anxiety goes down, sleep gets better, and focus increases. With an emergency fund in place, investments growing, and new income streams becoming real options, you start living with more intention. The feeling of freedom doesn't come when you get rich. It begins when you realize money no longer controls you. And those first $10,000 are the trigger for that transformation. To make this even clearer, let's imagine two people, Lucas and Diego. Both are 30 years old, work at the same company, and earn the same salary, $3,000 a month. Lucas spends everything on comfort and lifestyle. Financed a car, parties every weekend, always maxing out his credit. 5 years later, he's in debt, no savings, stuck in the same job. Diego, on the other hand, decided to save $500 a month, learned about investments, and in 2 years, saved his first $10,000. He put some into ETFs, some into a digital marketing course, and the rest into a small online business. Today, he has over $25,000 invested, a side income, and the power to say no to bad opportunities. Same salary, totally different outcome. Those $10,000 are more than just a number in your bank account. They're the foundation for a new level of control over your life. When you have that base, everything changes. You make decisions with less fear, you take calculated risks, and you start building something that goes beyond money. You build time, freedom, and the power to choose. And that's exactly what separates people stuck in endless financial loops from those who break free and create a new path. If this video helped you see money in a different light, hit like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Here we talk about freedom with strategy, using real numbers and decisions that actually work. Because your financial future doesn't depend on luck. It depends on what you choose to do with your first $10,000. And the time to start is now.